you've definitely been for 36 years old, have definitely been through some fiery situations there. Um,
Sure.
what else have you learned? I mean, did you learn anything besides that from those experiences? And looking back on them, do you see benefit coming from them, or that were they just pretty much a bad memory to you now? To you now?
No, I think I wouldn't trade them. I wouldn't trade those things. I think we're a lot stronger than we believe ourselves to be. And as we walk through those roads, we realize that, man, like as things come my way, I would have never thought I would have been able to handle certain things. But God gives you the strength for that. And I would say, too, have people in your life that are close to you that can walk with you and encourage you, and just like a community,
Mm,
they can speak wisdom to you. And just sometimes we can be defensive, but it's very important to, if you know those people have your best interest at heart, to heed their advice.
right. Yeah, that's real important. I was going to ask you that, if the kind of people that you had in your life, and if when you've gone through both of these trial times, if you had that support, and it sounds like you had it really strongly.
Yes, I'm the oldest of 8 kids, so I have a large family and my parents. And so, yes, for sure.
Well, that's excellent. That's what I suppose, but I didn't know for sure. It was in the back of my mind. I was thinking to myself, does she have a strong family support system there? Because for those two events that you've had to go through, I mean, those are major. Those would knock a lot of people completely out. Either one of them. So, I mean, it had to be heartbreaking, to find out, with your belief system, your the way you conduct your life, that this life that you had envisioned with your Marine young man was not gonna happen. So, but
Right, yes.
you also had the integrity to continue on, caring for your children, and there are some other choices you could have made, that wouldn't be nearly as positive as what you've done. But that goes along with your belief system. And again, the young woman I remember from our class, a lot of integrity. Um, I deal these days, Nicole, a lot with helping young women to navigate the hookup culture. Now, I don't know for sure how much of that was going on when you were on campus, but would you have any advice? And then, did you see that when you were going to school? And if so, did that affect you back then? If you don't mind me asking, and then,
Um,
go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
I was going to say, and then, looking back on it now, what would you say as far as advice to young women that are going through this? Because I think it's a lot more pronounced now than it was even back when you were going to school. I may be wrong on that. You may know more about it than I do. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on it?
Um, I think, yeah, it was pretty prevalent then. I think it is more prevalent and more, I guess, outspoken now. But it's easy to get the mindset of, well, everybody's doing this. Everybody's not doing it, but you just have to, I guess, put yourself in situations with people who think like you. And so, I was in the dorms or whatever, and I was an RA. Um, and I actually met a few young ladies who, once I said that, no, I'm going to remain abstinent, that's the plan. They were like, well, I've never had sex either, and I really don't want to, but everybody's doing this. But, so if you can connect with people like that, or if you take a stand, a lot of times it encourages others or gives them the courage to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the research shows as well, is that there's about 30% of college students, and especially college women, that are not taking part in hookup culture at all. And then there's about 15, that's 15%, that are heavily into it, especially guys, and especially like a fraternity guys. So that leaves about 50ish, percent that are just what you just described. They think that everybody else is doing it, so they feel pressured to do it as well. And some of them are participating, I think, not because they want to, but because they feel like they have to be able to be in the cool crowd, or whatever. So yeah, that message you just kind of explained, and related to your experience back then, I think is very important to encourage young women to do. Go ahead and stand up for what you believe, and let others know it too, and probably you'll bring some along with you.
For sure. And also, you have to look at the people who, and I never put anybody down, or, I always want to try to encourage people, but the people who are participating in those activities, are they really happy? Or, like, how is it benefiting them?
Right.
And I think that honestly, they're probably searching for something in that they're not going to find, but it's just they're looking. And so I think that's good to know too.
Yeah, and I think that there's again, the research is showing that about 2/3 of the time that hookups are engaged in, there's definitely alcohol involved with it. So I think that there's quite a bit probably of trying to, make yourself feel, I don't know, kind of dead in I don't want to say guilt about it, but just kind of make yourself less inhibited, I guess, so that you would do
Right.
something that you wouldn't normally do, so.
Sure.
And anytime you see that, I think you see whenever people are having to drink and really get really, really drunk in order to participate in something, I think it's probably telling us something about the activity,